Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, we're going to be doing a full face of e.l.f. This is everything that was in my previous video that I hauled. I did not get down to Target to get any of their brow products. I was hoping I could because that's the one thing I forgot when I placed this order, but I just didn't get down there in time. So that's the only thing that will not be e.l.f. today will be my brows. So yeah, we're just going to get started because I feel like full face videos take forever. The only thing I have on my lips today is this Fresh Sugar Lip caramel or caramel, however you pronounce it, hydrating balm. I love this. I did try both of these out already and I don't really like them. So the e.l.f. Hydrocore Lip Shine, the reason I don't like this one is because that little heart in the center is clear. So it's like when I line my lips, it does this weird thing where it like lines the top, then also like this, the bottom part right here, and then there's this whole gap. And I have to go in and tap with my fingers. I like the idea of this, but I don't like how it looks. And then I like this one. I just don't feel like it's as hydrating as like this fresh lip balm that I have, so I just went back to this one. So all right, so we'll go ahead and get started. And I actually do have one of their primers, but I'm not going to be trying that today. I'm just going to try to see how the CC cream works on its own. I have the shade 120 neutral and then 150, so we're going to mix these two and see how they do together. So because I feel like the putty primers aren't necessarily like my favorite, so I want to kind of give this a chance on its own. So we're going to go ahead and, like I said, we'll definitely have to mix these two because 120, I can just tell by looking at it that it's too light. But then 150, cool, is way too pink. So I don't know why I don't ever... I unboxed all of this except for this so I could just read, like I said, on the back. So it says that you're supposed to ditch your basic foundation. This color correcting cream is the only product you need to achieve a natural looking complexion but with full coverage. A multitasking dream cream infused with collagen, peptides, and niacinamide known to plump, hydrate, and smooth the appearance of your skin while protecting with SPF. So it says you apply 1 to 2 pumps of your CC cream to clean skin using our e.l.f. Complexion Duo brush to achieve an airbrush finish, whereas a moisturizer and full coverage foundation depending on your needs. Okay, so I actually have a sponge, which is like my favorite way to apply any product, but I do also have a foundation brush, not an e.l.f. one. I think I might actually have that e.l.f. foundation brush somewhere back here, but I'm not looking through all that, so we'll just use the Rare Beauty one. So yeah, as far as coverage wise, I do have like a lot of acne scarring stuff. It's definitely cleared up a lot since I started incorporating an actual niacinamide and using that resurfacing mask by Herbivore, I think it is. I've noticed pretty good, but then I do have like a little pimple right here. So we'll definitely be able to see what kind of coverage this gives because it is supposed to be full coverage. So we're going to go ahead and, like I said, we're just going to mix up kind of what we think. I like the pump on the bottom, so I like the packaging. So all right, so I mix that together and I'm going to stop right there. I still feel like it's a little bit light, but I feel like it's kind of starting to get a little bit too pink where I added some more of that in there. So really, sorry, I just got a cat hair on my face. Here we go. So isn't it lovely? Or cat or dog hair. I guess it could have been either one, but I feel like my cats are the ones that's always jumping up on everything. All right, so like I said, I am going to take my sponge just to see how it does with a sponge. And then if it doesn't do very well, we'll switch to a brush. So I think that's pretty close. Like I said, I definitely could have maybe used just a little bit darker. So I don't know if this dries quickly or not. I just prefer to work in sections usually with most products because, you know, I don't know how fast they'll set, but right off the bat, I think it's pretty good coverage. I would say more medium coverage with the sponge, but we'll see how like buildable this is. But let's go on my forehead. I tried to touch up my hair today. It's been like 3 days, but I did my hair with that Amazon like little beach waver, which I just love. But I had my hair up in a bun because I worked out for like the past 2 nights, so I feel like they were kind of falling a little bit. So I tried to touch it up, but I definitely feel like I need to wash my hair. So I do still feel like that was a little bit light, but like I said, I felt like it was kind of starting to look a little bit pink when I was adding that other shade. So maybe I could go up to the next neutral shade or maybe get it and kind of mix it in. But on first application, I actually feel like on my skin it looks, I'd say kind of matte. I think it's just have like a natural finish, it said. Yeah, but I feel like this kind of looks matte. You can definitely see it on my skin. It's not one of those that I feel like looks invisible. Um, but so like I said, I'm just looking up in this mirror because that other one's like way over there in front of me. So, um, I mean, like I said, I think the coverage is really good. I would say it's like medium coverage. Probably if you used a brush, you could get full coverage, but I'm fine with this amount of coverage. Like it doesn't bother me. Um, but it's not, I wish I could. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to zoom you guys in so hopefully you guys can see what I'm talking about. So let me zoom you in and then I'll be right back. All right, so I zoomed you guys in and turned the ring light down so hopefully you guys can see just a little bit better. But I definitely feel like, you know, like I said, it looks really good. But it definitely, when I look close up, like here, I feel like you can definitely see it on my skin. It's not like the most, like I wouldn't consider this the most natural looking like product to put on my face or anything. I was hoping it would look a little bit more natural, but again, I want to finish the rest of my makeup, kind of see how it looks once it's set on my skin. So yeah, let's go ahead and I'll zoom you guys back out. All right, so far, like I said, these are like okay. I'm hoping maybe like once it settles into my skin, it'll look a little bit better. I can see it on my skin, which is not like my favorite thing, you know. It does feel lightweight, I'll be honest. It kind of has that like feeling of like sunscreen, and I know it's got SPF 30 in it, but it definitely kind of has that feeling, and almost kind of like if I'll use products like this, I feel like that has like a high SPF in it. Sometimes I feel like they look like that, where they're kind of like sitting on top of my skin and not sinking in, but that might change, like I said, in a little while once it kind of sinks into my skin. So let's go ahead and do concealer, and this is the new concealer I got, and like I said, I believe this is going to be way too dark, so if it is, I am going to actually mix the matte one in with it underneath my eyes. So you need the smallest amount with the matte version, but I don't know with this one, since this is the hydrating one. So I don't know how much. So yeah, I'm definitely going to have to mix some of that. I'm just going to mix just a very small amount, because like I said, a little bit of this goes like a really long way. And yeah, just did just a little bit. So I'm just going to kind of mix those together. And I'm using my sponge. This is an e.l.f. sponge. This is their, oh, it's like Flawless Face or something. I also have their other one, which is dirty. This one right here, which I think a lot of people don't like, but I actually like that one, but I do like this one better. So I like that. That concealer blends out a lot easier than their matte version did, but those two worked well together. I still think I could use like a different shade underneath my eyes. So I would like to highlight with the rest of my face, but like I said, I feel like that concealer is a little bit too dark. So let me just see close up what it looks like. So yeah, no, I think the under eyes look fine. I feel like it looks really nice and smooth. Um, so yeah, definitely, I do feel like this foundation, like I said, the more it's kind of sitting on my skin, like when I just looked at it then, I do feel like it's kind of looking a little bit heavy. So, all right, I am going to set my under eyes. Now, I don't have a e.l.f. like powder to set my under eyes. I forgot that as well. So I'm going to use my Viseart one because I know how this one works and it just always does a good job. So I'm just going to go ahead and take that exact same sponge that I've been using, and I'm just going to set my under eyes. So yeah, that just kind of like smooths everything out underneath there. So yeah, because I definitely feel like I could use like a lighter shade in that hydrating concealer, but I liked it. It was okay. I don't know if I would necessarily like repurchase it again, to be honest, but it was just okay. I don't love it as much as my Catrice one. I think my Catrice one's almost like $5, so I'd probably just get that one. All right, so we're going to go ahead and do bronzer. So this is the bronzer I have. Whoops. It's the e.l.f. Forever Sunkissed Bronzer. And I'm just going to use this Ulta powder brush. It just looks like this, sorry. And we're just going to bronze up the skin. So I don't know how pigmented this is, so I'm going to try to not go so heavy-handed. So, oh, okay, so it's not like super pigmented, so just go in a little bit. I feel like I have like the biggest forehead, so I always feel like I really bronze my forehead. The shade, like I said, was like a little bit light, but I think that, you know, I was able to build it up, so I really like the color. It's really nice. It's not super warm, but it gives like, I feel like a glow, like a nice sheen. I like it. Really like the bronzer. So, all right, now for blush. Like I said, I do have this, but I really feel like this is just going to be too warm for me. This is the shade Spiced Apple, and I know the highlighter is going to be too dark. So let me actually see if I have an old e.l.f. highlighter in my collection really quick. All right, so no, I could not find an e.l.f. one in my collection, so I am going to keep it drugstore though, and I'm going to take this Milani highlighter in Supercharged, and I'm taking this like pink side and then mixing it in a little bit with this side, just mixing them back and forth. I am going to try this Spiced Apple shade, like I said, but I believe it's going to be too warm, so I might have to go in with something else. So, taking this Japanesque brush, I don't know, I think you can still get Japanesque off Amazon. They used to be able to get them at Ulta, but I haven't seen them at Ulta in a really long time, so it's going to... yeah, that's a little bit warmer than I feel like what I would like, but... Okay, so that was like really, that blush is really pigmented. It blended really nicely. It's just the shade that I probably would have, you know, went in with something different. So, all right, really quick, I'm going to hop off here though, and I'm going to do my brows, and then we'll come back and we'll finish up with eyes and with lips. All right, guys, welcome back. So it's actually been a little while. I did do my brows, but my grandmother's heat pump has been like on emergency heat, and they said they'd call as soon as they could get here. So they called, and I had to go up there so I could let them in her house so they could look at the thermostat and all of that stuff. So and get that fixed. So I'm sorry about that, but I did grab me a coffee, and I have it in like one of my favorite mugs. I think I may have mentioned this before. It just says, "Oh look, another glorious morning." It makes me sick, and I love it. So just had to get me a coffee. So yeah, we're gonna get started, and like I said, we're back to eyes. I have so many eye products here. I have like matte eyeshadow. I have the metallic ones. I have the chubby sticks here. And then I have a bunch of the eyeshadow quads. So I really want to use as much as possible. So I'm going to zoom you guys in so you guys can see what I'm doing. And all right, so I'm going to start out with this matte eyeshadow. And this is in the shade Blushing Rose. And this is supposed to be like a matte. So I'm going to see if I can like put it in my crease. I really want to see what this looks like all blended out all over the lid as well. So I'm going to put it everywhere. I don't know how much I need. So I'm just going to start with that small amount. I'm just going to take a big fluffy brush. This is a Morphe E23. I'm just going to kind of see how this... Oh, I should clean this off. Sorry, I'm going to go with this color switcher. Hopefully I didn't have too much in there. But I'm just kind of just blending this out. Like I said, I just want to see. So, okay, it blends out really nicely. It's just, like, I feel like this is kind of supposed to be similar to, like, those Rare Beauty ones that everybody's talked about. So, I actually really like this, just that shade right there on my lids. I'm adding a little bit more so I can kind of blend it up into my crease. But it blends really nicely with the brush, so I like it. So far so good. I feel like this is one of those products that you could probably use with your finger as well, like a one and done kind of eyeshadow. So got a little bit there in the inner corner. But I like that. So like I said, I just blended that all over my eye because I just wanted to see how it worked. So I'm going to see if you can just blend this out with your finger over here on the other eye for like a really quick. Frack, I forgot to prime my eyes. That's okay. That's okay. That's all right. So, oh, see, I think this works really well with your finger as well. I love products like this because, like, I would be completely and totally happy with just, like, this shade on my lid. And like I said, how I've just kind of, like, buffed it up through my crease and just maybe bring some down on my lower lash line a little bit. And I'd be happy with that. So, it's kind of like one of those one and done shades. And, like, I like the formula. It blends really nicely. It's not tacky anymore when I touch it. So, I like that. I believe I'll put this on my list to see if they have any more shades in. So, all right. So, like I said, I might have to skip on these right here, or maybe I could put this one on my lid. But I kind of want this like mint shade to be kind of like the center of attention. So, I think I'm going to try to use these two palettes today. Maybe save the jalapeno one, hot jalapeno one for later. So I'm going to go in with the Mint Melt one, and this one is in the shade Chocolate Mint first. And I'm going to take this warm brown because I feel like this shade right here might be just like a little bit too light for my crease shade. And I'm just going to take a Morphe E28 brush, just cleaning it off. And again, just taking this really pretty like warm brown shade. And I'm just going to put this in the crease and just blend it basically right over top of that shade that I put down. And then I'm actually going to go in with this brown right here and put this on the outer corner and just into my crease. So I like these matte shades. I think they blend really nicely. So I'm actually going to take this first brown shade right here and just put this on my lower lash line as well. Then I'm going to take this dark shade right here and then buff it on my lower lash line as well, just like a little bit closer. I'm going to take a little bit of like this cream shade right here just to kind of like blend out these edges. I really like the matte shades in all these palettes. I think they blend really well. Try these like little sticks here. So I'm going to put this one down on my lid as the base on my lid, and this is the ice cream shade. This was like a shimmer. So I'm going to put this down, and then I'm going to go over top of it with one of these eyeshadows. So I'm going to get kind of a bit closer so I can... So I don't know. I don't feel like this is like sticking. I don't know if it's because maybe I put that matte like cream shade down, but I feel like this one's not showing up very well on my lid. Let's see if I can just take some on my finger and kind of like this and see if I can kind of like drag it on there. That's okay. That one's not my favorite. So I'm going to take that shimmer shade then with my finger in that mint palette, and I'm just going to place this over top. It's really pretty. It's kind of like the same champagne shade. I like those shimmer shades in that palette so far. That's a really pretty shade. I'm going to do this eye really quick, and then I'm going to come back and blend these edges over here on this one, but I'm going to do the exact same thing. Like I said, I'm just going to take this shimmer stick. Ouch, just poked myself in the freaking eye. Alright, I'm going to take this little Moda brush. I'm going to kind of go back and forth between these two shades, just kind of blending where the shimmer shade meets the outer corner. Okay, so then I'm going to take this matte one and we're going to put this in the inner corner, and then I'm going to go over top of it with that mint shade. So this one's a lot smoother than that other one that had like the shimmer in it. I like this one better already. And I'm going to now take this mint shade. I like that. Alright, so now I'm going to take this, and I was looking for like that old eyeliner brush I used to have that I used in my Maybelline, but I couldn't find it, so I'm just going to try to put this on my waterline. So I like this. I think it doesn't stick to the waterline as well as the Maybelline one did, but I do think that, like I said, it was like really easy to use, and I do like it, so that was a winner. And now lastly, we're actually going to try mascara. So I'm going to curl my lashes really quick, and then I'll be right back. Alright, so let's try this mascara. Oof, it's got one of those like rubberized wands. I did curl my lashes already, so let's see. Oh, I just freaking hate wands like this because if I poke myself in the eye, I feel like it really hurts. Ouch. This mascara is okay. I don't really like it. I feel like it kind of just makes my lashes look really spidery. Like I said, I'll do a second coat, but it's like it's very like crunchy already, I feel like. Alright guys, so I had tried to fix this mascara mess, but it's just not working, and I tried to clean up my lower lash line, took my concealer off, it's just been whatever. But I did go ahead and line my lips with my Milani Understatement Lip Liner in 230 Push It, because I do want to try out their liquid lipstick formula. So this is in the shade Red Vixen. It's definitely not what I would wear with this eye makeup, but I do want to try out the formula. So we're just going to go with it. Alright guys, so this is the completed look. Like I said, this isn't normally like what I would wear with this eye makeup, but I wanted to try out this formula, and I will say it's definitely not my favorite. It's more of like a thin kind of moussey texture, and I kind of felt like I had to keep going over certain areas because it would look darker in one area and then kind of like lighter in the other areas, and it's very, very, very drying. Like this feels very tight on my lips. It's not super comfortable, but yeah, I'm going to go ahead and tell you guys just my final thoughts. So as far as how this actual CC cream is looking on my skin, I feel like it looks better now that's kind of set and sunk into my skin. It doesn't look like it's setting on top of it, but it does still look like I'm wearing like a foundation almost. It's one of those that I feel like doesn't look the most natural in my opinion. I think the finish is natural. It's not matte. It's not like dewy. It's like that natural in between, but it doesn't look natural on my skin. I do want to try this out a few more ways, maybe priming my skin, but on first impression, I'm not in love because like I said, for me on my skin, I feel like with my texture and my acne, it just doesn't look the most natural. So this is not my favorite, but like I said, I do want to continue to try it out. As far as the concealer, I definitely prefer the hydrating version. I did have to add a little bit of the matte version in there, but I do feel like the hydrating one blended out really nicely mixed in with this one. I will say I think it looks good underneath my eyes. I do still prefer my Catrice concealer. I think it just looks a little bit more flawless. This seems to look a little bit heavy underneath my under eyes. Again, I don't know if it's because I mixed a little bit of this in here that might be causing it to look heavy, but again, like it was okay. Not my favorite. I would probably go with my Catrice one. As far as the bronzer, I actually really, really like the bronzer. I think it gives a really nice, pretty kind of like sun-kissed, like satin glow to it. And I like this shade because I could build it up to definitely get the intensity that I wanted. Like I said, I feel like it just looks really, really good. Nice bronzer. I really, really like this. Definitely probably one of my favorite products. As far as the blush, this was the shade Spiced Apple. Again, a little bit warmer than what I would probably typically wear every single day, but it was a really nice blush. It was pigmented. It blended really well. It wasn't patchy. I like this. I want to pick up some more shades though, so I can actually try like the highlighter in here. So I will definitely be picking up some more of these. As far as the eyes, I really liked this e.l.f. like matte shade. Again, this is one of those products that I would literally put on my lid, blend out with my finger, and be like one and done. It looked really, really nice, super smooth. No like tackiness once you blended it out. You know, no like patchiness. Really, really like this. Again, one of my favorite products. And then the eyeshadow palettes, I did end up just using these two. I really like them. I used this shade to kind of blend out everything once I had it over here, and I mixed some of this in here. And then, of course, I used every shade in this palette. This is the shade that's on my lid and then my inner corner. Really, really like these. I feel like the shimmer shades in here are really nice. They're a little bit thicker, so I think that they apply a little bit better with my finger. But I really like the mint shade. It was really nice and pretty on my inner corner. So really like these. We'll probably pick up some more shades in here as well. Mattes blended really nicely, just really smooth. For I think these were $3. I think that this is, again, just really nice. Now on to the No Budge Shadow Stick. So I actually liked the Mint For You one. This one's like a matte one. It just felt creamier, better pigmentation. This one with the shimmer in it, I felt okay when I was trying to put it on my lid. It's kind of tugging in my lid. Wasn't it smooth? A little bit chunky. So I do really like this one. That's more of like the matte formula. It's a lot smoother, but like the shimmery one, I wasn't a fan of. I did actually like the e.l.f. eyeliner. I put it on my waterline and on my tight line. I did like this. I feel like it doesn't stay put like the Maybelline one did, but I do still think it's a good alternative if you can't find the Maybelline one. So again, I did like that one. All right, moving on to mascara. I probably hated this the worst out of all of it. It made my lashes like spidery, but didn't really make them long. It took me forever sitting here trying to like pull them apart different ways. Just really, really don't like this mascara at all. So definitely will be skipping on that one. And is that it? I think that's all. Oh, and the liquid lipstick. So the liquid lipstick, like I mentioned a second ago, I feel like it's very, very drying. It's not the smoothest formula because I feel like I said there was some areas where it definitely, like the pigmentation, I felt like was better, and I try to go back over it, and it just, not my favorite liquid lipstick formula. It's not horrible, but it's not my favorite, and it is extremely, extremely drying. And right now, like I said, I probably should have went in with like one of these, but again, this shade right here I just felt like was too warm, this lipstick, and I was wanting to try out their liquid lipstick formula. So again, just very, very matte. So overall, like I said, I do feel like I really found some hidden gems. I love the eyeshadow palette. Like I said, the bronzer, the blush, really like that. Oh, and this is probably my favorite, to be honest. So yeah, if you guys like these full face of first impressions or like full faces of one brand, let me know and I'll continue to do them. And have you guys tried any of these products out? And if you have, what do you think of them? So as always, thank you guys so much for watching.